Hello Pisces, welcome to your weekly reading with me. We're going to dive in together, see what's going on for you guys for the week ahead, my angels. I do have a few channeled messages actually that I wrote out for some people, but actually for you guys, you got a very clear one, and it's not going to be for everyone. But what I did see was that there might be some misunderstandings or opposing priorities this week. What I was seeing and when I was pre-shuffling, I saw the King of Swords and then the Moon and then the Queen of Pentacles, but the Moon being in between these two people felt a little bit like a lot of feelings that are not being explained very well. So there's a lot of weirdness going on, like a lot of emotion coming up for some of you who might be dealing with people in your life, right? Could be business partners, could be there's just a little bit of confusion. That's where I'm saying misunderstandings. Now we are in Mercury retrograde, so make sure that we are being very clear about our intentions, about what we want to do and all that good stuff, especially in partnerships. Be very, very clear about your feelings or whatever it is, so that there is no misunderstandings here. And I did feel opposing priorities just because you guys are coming up as very different people. So it could be very important to just double check what people might need from you or what you might need from them. Because I feel like, I don't know, I feel like if someone's love language, let's say, is acts of service and someone's is, I don't know, positive reinforcement, whatever it is, positive affirmations, someone might buy you a thing, but you're waiting for them to tell you did a good job doing something, right? Or how amazing you are, right? You're waiting for that, but they're giving you things in a different way. So for some of you in relationships, it's going to be a little bit of a tough time. Again, as long as you know the person that you're dealing with or working with, right? Could again be collaborations there or even friendships. I don't know. Be clear about the person that you're working with or being in a relationship with so that you know what they might need at this time. Because again, the Moon being there just felt a bit like there's no bad stuff going in. It's just a lot of like emotions that are just being, I don't know, I see a bit of a mess going on there, but that's just the only message I get. So very specific. Now I did pull you out some oracles as well, and they look really good. So you have the Imagine card, which is my card of like the Judgment, but in a way that you are ending cycles, you're letting go of an old, you've almost overcome a chapter, you've learned the lessons you needed to learn. Now you are going to a new level, right? See, almost like a game. You guys passed the last level that you were on, and now you're moving on to a different one, which means it might be a little bit harder, but don't worry because you're growing. This is exactly what challenges are here for, is to help us to grow, to gain more strength and resilience or more skills and practice to go even higher in life. So a lot of progress coming up for you guys during the next weeks, plural. Now, Imagine card is all about you expanding and again, going into a new chapter of your life. And in this chapter, it says, imagine, right? This is your chapter to create. You almost get a blank canvas during this week. So again, this is time to think big, not to think small. All right, Pisces, this is a good time to recreate whatever you want and desire because you've passed a test in some way in terms of spiritual world. Okay, and it's time to move forward. So this is a gorgeous energy. Bear with me for a second whilst I wait for my top camera to reboot. But you also have the money path too. And this is a path with money is waiting for you to find it. So this week is a really good time to, again, be open to new streams of income or finding ways to improve or increase your finances. All right, my gorgeous angels, especially with Imagine. You know, I feel like you guys are reaching new levels in terms of finances and investments. So that feels really good. Okay, let's move forward. What is the overall energy going on this week for my gorgeous Pisces? The Wall card, new beginnings, absolutely. Ending of old cycles, beginning of new ones, a glow up. Expansion, travel for some of you could be coming up for you, but it just feels good. Look at that, 6 of Wands coming through, success, gaining attention, being a leader, being an inspiration in some way. Some of you could actually have a promotion coming up. That would make a lot of sense. Or again, if you work for yourself, then it is just a sense of feeling successful, feeling seen, feeling appreciated. So gorgeous energy. Strength card being here. Maybe recently you had to do something quite bold. You had to trust your gut instincts when it comes down to doing something a bit different. And I think that that's paying off for you. Right. Why is the wild card energy of the week? The Hierophant. Some of you, this is good for commitments and connections. Remember the Moon? It's here again. There's a little bit of confusion about the future of a dynamic. Okay. I think that there needs to be more attention here when it comes down to a partnership. Some sort of commitment in your life needs a little bit more attention, specifically on what needs to change for the future. Okay. Maybe a little bit more balance is needed here. But the Hierophant is a really good card for commitments and marriage. So a new beginning starting up here, a new cycle coming up here for you. Maybe you guys are entering relationships, right? Maybe you're getting more serious. Maybe some of you are changing up what your commitments are. What are your commitments? Maybe you're changing up your belief systems. What is the Six of Wands doing here for this week? Justice. I do feel like some of you guys are getting a promotion, or some of you again could be signing a contract. The Hierophant and Justice both to me look like a job opportunity for sure. Justice and the Six of Wands, you guys are feeling successful. You're feeling like things are finally working in your favor, that you're getting your good karma after all these years and finally getting things in balance. Again, some of you, if you are dealing with legal situations or contracts, you're feeling very successful here. It's working in your favor. Alrighty, what's the challenge that might arise for Pisces this week? What is the challenge? Weird how that came out. Like very odd. The Four of Cups, which is a card again about complacency, or not really feeling very grateful for what's actually coming into your life. Let's figure out why this is here. Sometimes this is a card about feeling jaded or bored, right? Sometimes I see it as so used to the comfort zone that you're not really open to change, which would make sense with that being a challenge here, because you are excelling, you are expanding, you are opening things up, you are finding success. There are new contracts coming in of where you're able to expand a business or whatever it is. You're overcoming legal situations, whatever it is. I feel like things are looking good for you. But the Four of Cups being a challenge is almost like whether you are fully accepting this new energy or not. Why is the Four of Cups a challenge? Six of Pentacles. Are you, what is the Four of Cups doing here as a challenge for Pisces? Ten of Cups. The Seven of Wands. As I said, this sometimes can come up as a card of like a lack of gratitude, or like we're not really seeing the options that are actually coming in and how they are coming from Spirit, right? Six of Pentacles I feel like it's an idea. Spirit's giving you some inspiration to do more things that you love to do, or again, accept new opportunities that again could turn into things that you love to do. But the Six of Pentacles being here and the Four of Cups being like, I don't want to do that. You know, it's a little bit of rejection that you guys might struggle a little bit with, you know, with maybe compromise. Maybe it is about finding balance with what you're giving your time and energy to, right? Sometimes the Six of Pentacles can be a lot about your health, your habits, your routines, day to day, making sure that you're giving to the right things or giving to new things, right? I almost get this sense that if you are not doing this yet, this expansion, this, you know, putting yourself out there, I feel like this is probably why the Six of Pentacles is coming through, right? Changing up your commitments, expanding, right? Learning a lesson, putting yourself out there, whatever it is. I feel like lately, maybe you have felt a bit like looked over. Maybe you have felt like you've not been giving your all to your job or to, you know, finding a money path. It feels a little bit like being comfortable where you've been at, even in relationships. I'm not exactly sure. So the Six of Pentacles almost feels like giving to something new. Seven of Wands, going up against the grain. You know, it's very hard to add new routines and new habits into your life, or to do something that our ego might be a little bit like, nah, don't want to do that. But Six of Pentacles is again about balance here. This is where you're going to find success during this week, is when things are balanced. So Seven of Wands and Ten of Cups is suggesting that you are going to have a lot of happiness when you go up against the grain. More happiness than what you got here. I always say that he's like, nah, I've got 3 cups, don't need any more. Don't want that. Sometimes a bit greedy, I guess. Again, not really seeing the value of what's being offered. So some of you guys, again, it could just be your emotions might need a little bit of a check-in. Anything else for the challenge for Pisces this week? The Hanged Man, looking at life through a different perspective. That is your card here. Coming outside your head and feeling stuck and maybe feeling triggered. The Judgment card being here is again about you learning this lesson, going into a new level. So yeah, this feels like the before you have all this stuff. Eight of Swords coming out your head. You're not as stuck as you think you are, right? Things that might be uncomfortable for you to grow, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't grow. You should step into the discomfort, right? Getting comfortable being uncomfortable. Page of Swords again is a triggered energy. Maybe it's a really good time to find a way, right? Page of Swords is really good for that. And then Judgment. setting yourself free, learning a lesson. What is the lesson? Looking at life from a different perspective, gaining enlightenment here. Yeah, listening to your intuition. Two of Pentacles, about what you're balancing, about what you're juggling right now. One more for the Two of Pentacles. The Fool and a Queen of Wands. So I feel like for some of you, this is about having more confidence in starting new journeys and starting new projects, or being, I feel like the Queen of Wands is very extroverted. All the ones I see is extroverted. So they're kind of just like, yeah, whatever, let's do it. You know, I feel like being able to adapt, being able to accept change is important for you guys, because the Four of Cups would say that you're not very open to change right now. So Hanged Man, looking at these situations from a different perspective, trusting in your intuition when it comes down to decisions, especially when starting new things, habits, routines, still the same thing. What's the advice that you have for Pisces? Page of Swords, being open and curious, not being triggered, especially the Nine of Wands. It's a really good time to dive deeper into your triggers here, not to react, but to respond. Why is the Page of Swords advice? Diving into information that might help you, specifically financially, specifically in your workspace, not coming at life through lag, but coming at it with more, not to say you need to work harder, but there is this element here of, if you don't like the way that things are, you need to change the way that you're doing things to get a different result. It's almost like an energy of pushing yourself a little bit more. Five of Pentacles and Page of Swords and a Five of Pentacles feels a little bit like a lack mindset and being very triggered about things. Feeling angry, or feeling, angry at the universe, or angry at whatever, blaming others, right? Not saying it's your fault at all, but the Eight of Pentacles coming in next is almost like this can be fixed, right? Again, a money path is waiting for you to find it. Maybe you can reach new levels. So that Page of Swords can be good in a way that let those triggers help you to find the right path, right? Sometimes when we're triggered about things, we don't like where things are right now, is just a little sign that there is something more that we want and desire, but don't come at it through lack, right? I want you to be grateful for what you've got. And again, that's your challenge here. And then to still aim for more too, right? In a happy way. Anyways, Five of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles is really good. You guys are finding a way to increase your income. Love that for you. You guys are finding a way to get out of the cold with someone and to work on a relationship. Love that for you as well. Nine of Wands, Wounded Warrior. Why is this the advice? The Nine of Cups, boundaries are important, specifically when it comes down to your happiness. Why is this the advice? Four of Wands and a Page of Swords. So the Nine of Cups and the Four of Wands do speak about you celebrating something during this week. And your advice, I guess, is to feel very proud of yourself. I do get a little bit that maybe some people might not be very happy for you, because the Page of Swords, again, being here, could be someone else. Why is the Page of Swords here? Three of Swords. So there's a trigger here. Some of you might, and in this energy, the Page of Swords and Three of Swords, this heart-triggered energy, both looking at success. So I wonder if people are upset with your success and that you need to place some boundaries here, or whether you're angry at other people's success and Spirit really wants you to focus on gratitude and to focus on your goals, right? You can join them, right? But you just need to open yourself up to your own personal journey, your own personal determination, chasing your dreams and goals, going outside the city, getting outside the comfort zone and going after your own new beginnings, right? So you can have the things you desire, taking action on your ideas, especially your creative ones, the ones that come to you as like a surprise. And I feel like that's what's going to help change this energy. Some of you are, getting rid of a toxic past or any, addictions or temptations from the past that's turning in your favor. There's a lot to celebrate when it comes down to your finances in the future. But of course, this energy feels a bit of a blockage here. This is probably what you're wounded by. But the Ten of Swords is good because this has come to an end. You are going to have that happiness here. So what am I seeing with this? It's like, let's not dwell here. whatever you're dwelling on, right? Again, Five of Pentacles could be finances or again, a lack in your life. You feel like things are not where you want them to be. So Eight of Pentacles says, so work for it. So work harder, right? Go extra time, go find the research and information, because if other people are out there in the world that have something that you desire, you can have it too. Allow yourself to be inspired by that. All right, you just have to find your own way. And again, looking for information, talking to people, that's what the Page of Swords is really good at, right? Finding information will be very helpful for you. And as we've said, the Wild card and the Six of Wands are your main energies for the week. So it is saying that you are going to have success. Some of you are going to have contracts. Some of you are going to have a promotion. Some of you are going to have deeper commitments and a new beginning in a relationship for some. Right? I just feel like it's about healing the lack that's going on there, getting rid of any parts of yourself that might be, again, a bit stuck or stagnant or feeling jaded and bored yet not wanting to change anything, right? It's time to change that. I feel like this balance and this sometimes about discipline and obedience might really help you out here. Okay. So my homework for you guys during this week is to imagine a future that you desire. What does that look like? How do you look like? What are you doing in your day-to-day in this visualization of your future self? Okay. And I really want you to look at it and imagine big things for yourself, right? Don't play small, right? This is not just about being realistic, right? Because what is realistic? It's always unrealistic till someone does it, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, it's not impossible. So I just want you to think big things during this time, and not to hold yourself triggered or blaming yourself or blaming others for not being good enough or not doing enough or whatever. Change that. Let's start doing enough. Let's start believing that we are enough. Let's start working on whatever skills we feel like we're lacking, right? I just want you to not worry anymore. I just want you to do it. That's why I'm saying, right? Maybe you're like, oh, you don't have good routines. So let's make a good routine. Oh, well, this person really hurt me a long time ago and I'm still affected by it. So let's heal that, right? Let's focus on our insecurities. Let's focus on where we feel like we're lacking. Let's grow that. Let's focus on that even more so that we don't have that as an excuse or a reason or a trigger anymore. Anyway, I hope that makes sense to someone out there. Very quite specific, but either way, for a lot of you, this is again a really good time to really improve your income, your finances, your stability in life, and ultimately to really align yourself to a future self, which I think is really awesome. But anyway, if you enjoyed the reading, make sure you give the video a big thumbs up. Let me know in the comment section how it resonates with you. Don't forget to subscribe if you've not already. But aside from that, I'll see you guys next time.